Hey guys, today is Saturday, April 25th. It's 12:21 p.m. This is Simone and Crystal, and we're going to do a channel in on the coronavirus. Go ahead, Chris.
And red blood cells.
Go ahead.
So I know I did the channeling before about it's coming through the red blood cell. So again, I'm not a doctor or anything professional, but I just do channeling. So so right now you can look up the components of blood. So components of blood have four main components. So it has plasma, red blood cell, the white blood cell, and the platelets.
Yeah, the platelets.
Palette or what?
Platelets.
Platelet. Okay, sorry.
I think it's
So,
platelet.
platelet. So you guys said whatever. So what that really does, it transports oxygen and nutrients to the lungs and tissue, forming blood clots to prevent excessive blood loss. So even now you hear articles that they're saying, hey, certain patients with COVID-19 are getting blood clots in the body. But our body naturally do blood clots if something's wrong in our body too. So anyway, I'm just gonna tell you. So like 40% we have more red blood cells, and then like 1% white blood cells. So the red blood cell, it rushes through all of our body, it rushes in our body all over and carries oxygen and carbon dioxide to and from organs, So we know that's what it does.
Yeah.
And, so hold on, sorry you guys, I'm still trying to process this. So we know that we have plenty of red blood cells. Our body produces that fast. Now, what our body does, we don't really produce a lot of white blood cells due to the fact that white blood cells are there for it's there to protect us. So if we're battling an infection, virus, something's wrong in our body, white blood cells are there. Those are the warriors, those are the soldiers
Where's the white blood cell? Sorry, Chris. The white blood cell is the one that HIV/AIDS attack. I think so.
I'm not sure. I would have to.
Okay.
But sorry, you guys, I'm channeling still, but I think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'd have to do it. But yeah, so our body that's our fighting thing, that's our soldier. So what the thing is, so I believe the older red blood cells turn into T cells. It's also a protection thing. I need to look this up again. But the main fact of this is that COVID-19 is coming through our red blood cells due to the fact that red blood cells can change form. Like, it's not necessarily a circle. Like, it could also change form, meaning it could look different or weird. Okay, you guys can look that up again. I'm not a professional, but this is from a channel. So when it usually changes forms, like it looks like a U instead of a C, instead of a circle. That's when sickle cell people have that, when their red blood cells are deformed.
Oh, okay.
Anemic people have that when their red blood cells are deformed. So let me tell you the difference too. So the difference between a white blood cell and a red blood cell is a white blood cell has a nucleus.
A nucleus. Okay.
A nucleus. So think of that as a brain.
Yeah.
A nucleus brings our DNA, has our DNA makeup.
Yes.
In that, a red blood cell does not have a nucleus, so it has no DNA thing.
Okay.
So what this virus doing is just acting like a DNA slash RNA. I forget what that means, but just think of it as that. So when it's attacking our red blood cell, it's basically telling the red blood cell, hey, you have a nucleus now, and we have nucleus in our white blood cell. So our body isn't processing it in a sense. So our body is thinking it's a white blood cell, and that's the problem.
Wow.
So that's the problem. So, you're hearing all of these. So it attacks our immune system. So you guys could look that up, what that entails, immune system. So hold on, let me just tell you guys. So
that's why the they say some of the people that have it, like, it's almost like their immune system overreacts, like, and that's what
it's
causes
overreacting.
The problem. It's because they can't pin that they have the red blood cells.
Yeah. So I don't know. I have to do some research, but so the doctors will do blood tests and see, hey, the red blood cell's fine, because, our body naturally produces a lot of red blood cells. That's not a problem. Yeah. Our body's fine with that. The problem is there's a heightened / there's an abnormal amount of white blood cells. And the reason is, why are we producing more white blood cells? It's because the red blood cells are acting or mimicking as a white blood cell. So think of, okay, your white blood cells are fighting off the virus, but the virus has put a cloak or an outfit on as your soldier, your white soldier blood cells, and it's pretending, hey, I'm a white soldier blood cell, so it's moving through the body freely and attacking what it needs to attack, and what it's attacking is our immune system. And so that entails our tonsils and adrenals, and what that does when it attacks that's our respiratory tract. So that's why you hear, like, people are having lung issue, breathing problem, Then it also attacks the lymph nodes. So that the lymph nodes act as a filter to remove, debris and like foreign stuff. Mm-hmm. So the lymph nodes have, like, the T cells, and that's also like a fighter thing.
Yeah. So, okay. Let me pull you back. So you said that the body's producing more white blood cells. You said that earlier. Is it producing more white blood cells, or is it just the illusion because the virus is making itself look like white?
It's faintly. You're not going to see, like, I know that doctors would be like, hey, white blood cells are being extremely, you're seeing a lot of them with the white blood cells. No, it's a faint, like, 0.000. It's faint. So like, some people will show up.
Okay. So, but you're saying it really is producing, like, a bit more white blood cell, or is it just the illusion of the virus?
Literally, what I'm saying is that we need to look at the red blood cell, because that's the beginning of how it's coming in our body.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, because the red blood cell goes through everywhere, all of our tracts.
Yeah.
Of our body. But I'm just telling you, like, a part of the virus. We already know that the virus mutates, but I don't know, one of the virus for COVID-19, coronavirus, they're sort of mutating the red blood cells into white blood cells so they could travel faster and stronger in the body.
So it's like that illusion thing, not necessarily that the body's producing more white blood cells, but just the red blood cells, because it has the nucleus now of the virus, or it's acting like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you know how the virus, it's not living.
Yeah.
But viruses only reproduce when it's in a living organism, and that's us. So once it's in the body, it's going to multiply. And how it's multiplying too, just think of the virus as being the brain now on the red blood cells, is telling it what to do. Mm-hmm. It's like going haywire in a sense, because red blood cells don't have nuclei.
Yeah.
So anyway, then you have the Peyer's patch appendix. You know how some people have their appendix taken out, but also that's a filter to remove debris and stuff. But what that does is that's the gastrointestinal tract. So that's that's where our stomach is. You're hearing stories of some patients who's having abdominal pain, fluid retention.
Yeah.
These are, it's adding up. It's this virus attacks the immune system. The immune system, you guys can look up what the immune system is, and if it's attacking your immune system, that means it's attacking everything.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. That's our fighting mechanism for living. Okay, so then it also attacks our thymus. I think it's thymus, and that also contains the thymus.
Oh, the thymus.
So that is
okay.
So I think we have our track. You know, the voice track. I don't know the name personally. That little throat part, and then you have the thymus.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little thing. It's like close to the lung area. It's like a little track thing from the mouth area down. But that contains where the thymus is where we have all of our T cells. Again, think of the T cells as like our military base.
Okay.
That's where we have all of our equipment, really, to fight off virus, parasites, fungus, foreign stuff. It controls cell that's the base where, that's like our hospital where the thymus, because it has all of the fighting stuff, our T cells. But then also it affects our spleen. I'm telling you, this virus affects the immune system. It affects the spleen, and that also filters foreign, debris and stuff. And then we also have the T cells there too. I'm just telling you, like, it's attacking, this virus is attacking basically in our body, our military bases in our body. It's attacking our military stuff in our body, if you want to look at that that. And then you have your lymph nodes. You know how much lymph nodes we have in our body? We have some in our neck, our back of the ear, all of these type of things. Next to the groin, that also, that's where our that's where also our T cells are. So I need to tell you guys what T cells are. I believe it's mature red blood cells. Hold on. I need to make sure I'm telling you guys this properly. So anyway, it basically is not telling me what I want to hear, but it's basically saying the T cell functions, actively destroys infected cells, as well as, help fight the immune. So it actively destroys the cell. But if the red blood cell and the white blood cells are roaming freely and it's infected, like that, the T cell isn't doing the job. So that's why it's mass producing in a sense in our body.
So right now it doesn't have an internal checks and balance within our body.
Checks and balance,
no. And that's what you need. So it's just running freely like how our blood runs freely, so the T cells doesn't know how to check it. Right? Okay.
Yes. Sorry, hold on. I just want you guys to bear with me. But let me tell you guys this too. So, and then also I feel like when our body is in attack, I need to look this up too again to make sure I'm saying the right thing, or if this, but I'm sure. So, also, I think we pump out. Obviously, we pump out a lot of red blood cells, but it's funny, like certain, like this virus, as you just like look at it, like people are complaining about, it sounds like, okay, they might have sickle cell, or they might have anemia, or they have this bone marrow type of cancer.
Mhm.
And so what we're doing is we might be thinning out the blood because it's the blood clot, but that's not the problem. You're thinning out the blood clot, but then there's another issue. So honestly, I just want to tell you guys this. It's just I just wanted to go into depth why I said it's affecting your red blood cell. It's coming through the red blood cell, and it's literally putting on a facade slash quote that, hey, I'm a white blood cells. The virus is acting as a nucleus. But the problem is our nucleus in the white blood cells carries our DNA. So if the virus is acting as a nucleus in our body, it's carrying its DNA slash RNA. I think it's RNA. It's carrying that. And think of our body as a big computer. So it's rewiring and retelling our computer that, hey, no, I'm the foundation. I'm the foundation in the sense. Rewire your body to an RNA thing or my DNA instead of it's normal.
And is that why people die?
Yeah, and then yes, and it's also why people are having like certain symptoms, random symptoms, but the pattern is this virus is we need to look at the red blood cells. Like I feel like I don't know how we can do it. Hold on, sorry, I'm still training.
Yeah. So to touch base, Crystal was talking about.
Like if you drained, I think they might even. I don't know. I'm not saying this. This sounds like a Trump moment. It's like if they need to test. This is why they need to test everyone, all of its citizens. If you have positive, if you're positive or negative on that. So if you're positive, they need to start doing a little test. Like, okay, let's see if we can drain the blood.
You mean positive for COVID-19?
Yeah.
Okay.
They need to do tests now, like, to see, okay, if we drain the blood and give them new blood without the positive, would it
stop it?
Like, drain their whole blood so it doesn't come in.
I guess what's hard about that is, like, you can't really test on people, you know, it's considered inhumane, but you have to have volunteers. And then also, where are you going to get all that blood? Say it does work. Where are you going to get that blood from?
Exactly, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, and sort of, I don't think Trump sort of knew what he's saying by that, but it's like we need to clean some. He said we need to clean the body. In a sense, we need to clean the bloodstream, the blood component.
Yeah.
We need to clean that. That's what we need to clean. Those are the vital things. If it's freaking up our plasma, our red blood cells, our bone marrow, those are like vital things that going through our body left from right.
So basically, we need something that will clean it, what you're saying, not necessarily drain it out, because then where are you going to get the blood from?
Clean it meaning we cannot have this virus in our body.
Yeah.
We just can't. Because it mutates and then also it kills us. It doesn't know how to live in us simultaneous while we live. It's just killing us. So, I don't think no virus is going to help that. No vaccine is going to help that. You just need it out of you completely. And that's why we'll have research of people saying, hey, I have COVID-19, but it wasn't clear. It wasn't.
That's why you said that it's not even that it disappears. Remember when we did our other read, you said that it's just dormant. Yeah, it goes dormant and then it comes back again.
And I believe the T cells are dormant.
Yeah.
In our body, it's dormant. We only use it if we need to fight something off. And then also the thymus is a lot bigger in a child's body than an adult. It shrinks over time.
Yeah.
So that's also a problem too. Why you're gonna see. So this is a problem too. Obviously, it's affecting everyone, but I think as they do their data and stuff, you're gonna see that it affects the young a lot, really strongly, and then the old really strongly. obviously the middle end gets it too, but those are the two.
So I get why you said it would affect the young a lot because you said the sinus is bigger, but why the old? Is it because their immune system is already compromised?
Tiny. The thymus shrinks because over time you're not using that. You're not in battle mode, so you're not mass producing T cells.
Yeah. So it's bad when it's big and it's bad when it's too small, basically.
Yeah, and also it's bad too if you're in the middle too. But it affects everyone. But yeah, those are you hear a lot of old, young, old, young, old, young, old, young, old, young, old, young. It's like ping pong, but also you also hear
people in the
middle age.
So here's my thing. So I've been reading up on stuff, and now doctors are saying they're seeing a lot of patients with blood clots, and they're putting them on blood thinners. Can you talk more about that, and if it's good for them to be put on blood thinners to get rid of those clots? I know you briefly touched on it, but if you want to elaborate on it more.
So this is what it is. So our body knows something's foreign in our body. So the virus, we mass produce. This is when they're mass producing the red blood cells in the body, and that's a form of a blood cancer. So when they talk about these blood clots, they're going to say, "Hey, it's a very similar to like a blood cancer, like these things." So they try to thin it out, but so let me tell you. So it causes your bone marrow to make too many blood cells. So when there's too excessive, when there's a lot of cells, it thickens the blood, and then that means it slows the flow. So it's not really moving fast and running around our body as it normally does. So it builds up, and that's when you get a clot.
Oh, wow,
sorry for something like that. But that's when you get like a big knot wherever that slow thing is. So it depends on where the virus came in. Did it come through the tonsil, the adrenals? Did it come through the spleen? Did it come through the gastro? So it varies where it will come through. Yeah, like I said, they'll put some on blood thinner, and that could work because it takes away the blood clot.
Yeah,
we can't really live with a blood clot.
Right, exactly.
It moves the blood clot. But again, you have to remember these aren't healthy bloods. It's not a healthy blood cell. So you're thinning out the blood cell to move to the body now. Now maybe it was stuck next to like the lung area. Now or whatever. I don't know. The blood clot was in wherever it is, in the leg or whatever. And now you've moved it freely, and now they're saying, "Hey, I have abdominal pain," or "Oh, I'm having swelling in the lungs." It's like you're moving the virus too. Either way, the virus is gonna move and kill.
Yeah. So,
but it's like
it helps because you
can't
like have a blood clot.
One step forward and 10 back.
Yeah, but you also this shouldn't be going freely. But you can't really keep that blood clot either way because you have to get rid of it.
Yeah,
so it's a double-edged sword. Yeah,
it is a double-edged sword, but we want to go to the source, and the source is it's doing something with our bloodstream, and we need to look at that very closely. So, as scientists hear that, want to write about it, please do. But it's coming through the bloodstream. You guys can look that up.
Here's my thing. How do you? Okay, let's talk to whoever we want to talk to, whether it's the coronavirus cells, like how do we fix it? What's the fix? Not that we have a cure for it, but what would the fix be? Is it what you were talking about? You just need to fix the red blood cells, or is it something else? What is that fix?
The fix is right now. Honestly, it sounds crazy. It sounds like this is what they're saying. We need testing.
You need
the fix is getting testing. You need to get everyone on board. Everyone needs to get tested first off, so we can see who has it and who doesn't.
Yeah.
And this is where I don't want to say what I was saying. I
Yeah.
could say it off stage because it could. This is where certain rights are not looking like certain people will have rights. Like it looks good on paper, but it's not really good. This is where they're going to want you to tell me, oh, who in your household has it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe they need to come to a facility. That's sort of like Holocausty.
Yeah.
And that's not good, but I would be on board with that if they had a cure and were looking at the bloodstream and cell.
You know how you said that you want everyone to be tested? Like, I'm at the notion where I don't even want to be tested. That's how I feel. Like, I'm scared. Like, I'm scared because right now I'm fine. And it's like, I don't want to be and I'm taking all my precautions, which I'll continue to do. But when I feel like if I get a test.
If you don't need to take it, you don't take it.
Yeah, and I think like I'm positive. That's going to make me even more paranoid. You know what I mean?
I know. But just for like
studying and research purposes.
Studying too. This is why I don't want to talk about it because like this is what some of the government, like even Wuhan, China, were doing with their citizens. They were testing, or whoever seemed sick, have a temperature, look weird, go to Wuhan. Yeah. We're gonna lock your ass in Wuhan, so we can sort of like study what this is. But they're using the citizens as freaking lab rats, and that's never good.
Yeah.
That's a problem. So, how can we fix this? If doctors and scientists could go look at the bloodstream and tell us, hey, tell us the source. That's where the source is. The bloodstream. So that's how it's moving in rapid rates.
Yeah.
But it's literally how we fix this is with teamwork and with information. Honestly, not one person has it.
So how do you see the cure looking? Whether it's a vaccine, like how does that look? How does the cure look?
Like
is it a pill that cleans out the red cells? What does that look like?
It's literally telling me from I don't know if I vocalized this through past read, but we know it's not gonna look like a cure because there is no cure. But like in the future, maybe they'll find it, or like it's dormant, and then this is where like okay, it's dormant, and they put in these laws where people should stay in, drive if necessary. It sort of goes dormant because we're not affecting the environment as much as we were. Everything connects. So and it might go dormant because hey, the Earth isn't as hot, or hey, we're repairing our ozone layers in a sense. Like there ain't as much pollution. There's not as much trash in the water, so it does go dormant. It doesn't have like a footing. Everything
is connected.
Plays a factor,
it has
honestly.
to do with the environment. It has to also do with what people are eating. Is that true? What
yes.
people eating?
Yes.
What like nature they're killing or hunting down? That makes sense. So interesting that you don't necessarily see a cure. So here's my question for that. You know how stuff like what's something polio? You know how polio back in the past had wreaked havoc, and now there's a cure for it, which stopped it. How come that's not for this virus? How come there's nothing like that for the coronavirus per se? Or it'll take years and years in the future? Is it because
I don't say it's going to
knowledge?
Take years and years, but it has to do with a mindset that the world has, or your where you live has. Obviously, we're saying we want this to end. Obviously, we do. But is it the right or wrong reason? I don't know. It's just, hold on, can you please tell me your question again?
So my thing is, why can't we find a cure, let's say right now or in like the next 5 years? You know how we found a cure for polio?
Because we're on extremes. Like some people want a cure, some people don't. Some people wanna just act like it's not happening, and some people wanna act like it's happening. Some people are for a team, and some people still have individualistic mind state.
So it's basically
Although we're saying, yeah, we want to work together, but
yeah.
basically my thing too was you do have to work together. You have to stop whatever you're doing.
So you're saying that,
And it's like a shift. It's like conscious shift.
mm-hmm.
Is everyone on board? Yeah, everyone's on board. They're saying that, but are you really on board?
Okay, and
Like,
then we're
is
not.
people really on board? Like, are you really saying it? Are you really doing your precautions, or are you only doing it in a blue moon? Or I'll do it
Something like
when I
polio,
remember.
was everyone on board? Or are you saying like with that disease, everyone?
No,
Not necessarily.
that's different. And
Okay.
yeah, that's different. Like, I feel like I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but
Mm-hmm.
I think they inject us with it, the polio, so you don't get it. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah,
But this virus, you cannot
inject people with it.
have it in your body. Like, you're better off. You're better off without the virus in your body, because literally having the virus in your body, that's playing Russian roulette. It's like you don't know if you'll live or if you'll die. Who has the bullet or who don't have the bullet when you pull the trigger. It's playing Russian roulette, and that's not good. That's playing. You're doing a gamble, and gambling is never good.
So interesting. Do you see? So okay, it goes dormant. We're not necessarily going to get the cure for it right here, right now, or it maybe not even in the next 5 years. But how does?
But that's not being said. Time out. Sorry. But that doesn't negate that. Hey, there's blood clots, so now they're giving them thinning medicine, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now they're giving thinning medicine. Now they're saying, oh my God, there's a excess fluid in the lungs. Now they have something that, we could drain it or give them a pill, or I don't know how they do it to filter out the retention of fluid in the body. But yeah, so we'll have little procedures, like, so what it'll look like is, it's not a cure, but they'll say it's a cure. It's going to look like, they're going to tell you, if you have these symptoms, come into the doctor office so we can help you, so you can go back to your daily activities or your daily life. So if there's blood clot, if we find blood clot, then we'll give you blood thinners to help you. Now, okay, they're saying, oh my God, like, I'm having diarrhea or whatever, we'll give you something for that. Like,
it's treating the surface.
Yeah, we're treating the symptoms. And you have to look at it like this. We never really do find a cure. We just treat symptoms, like HIV/AIDS. We didn't find a cure, but there's a lot of people living to 90s and 100s with that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So
it's symptoms. So I don't want you guys to be like, oh my God, that's scary. No, that's normal in our society. We never really find a cure. Even with cancer, we don't find cures. We find stuff to help symptoms.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll do. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna help symptoms. That's what they're doing now. They're helping symptoms. They're telling us that some of the malaria drugs work for some people. Some blood thinning work for some people.
But is that good enough?
Staying hydrated. Huh?
Is that good enough for the mass? Is that good enough? Are people still going to be dropping
in
dead?
a sense, yes. Like, it's just like having cancer or AIDS. Like, you don't want it, but if you do get it, like, do your chemo, do your radiation, take your pills. It's like you won't be normal, but you could still go about your normal thing.
And then you could possibly die earlier too, right?
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. That'll just be a problem in the body that you'll just have. Just like any problem in the body, like if you have anemia, lupus, if you have all of these type of weird.
So that makes complete sense. It's so funny. That makes sense.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah. So right now, we're in the beginning process, and right now what the doctors are doing, they're writing articles or going back and forth with the scientists and the doctors. Hey, this is what I'm finding in patients that test positive, and this is what's helped with this type of symptom. So right now, that's good. Right now, we don't really have to, I don't want to say don't worry, but worry, but then also you have to go on with your life, but then also you have to take precautions, just like HIV. It's there. Anyone could get it, but you take your precautions. If you have, if you take precautions, meaning if you have sex, you use condom. type of thing.
So what about with the world when
But
it opens back up? Do you see
with
that
the world
happening?
now, this is our precautions. Our precautions is wearing our mask, not being in a place with excessive people all at once. Like, take your precautions. Those are
Yeah.
the precautions.
So what do we
Wear
do?
masks, wear
Okay.
gloves, wear
Because the
your
world's going to
glasses.
have to open back up, right?
It will.
So here's my thing. What about like daily stuff, like going to a football game or something like that, and being in the football stadium? Are you saying maybe not to go there because there's too much crowds, or is that going to change?
Yeah,
Or what?
you try to avoid big areas and masses. Maybe now, instead of everyone sitting um neck to neck, toe to toe,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna say, okay, everyone now is 6 feet.
Yeah.
There could still be a lot of people, but 6 feet. They'll just bunch it up 6 feet horizontally, 6 feet vertically.
So you see that changing basically how our environment is and how we do stuff. Maybe we're gonna have like restaurant seats further apart, bar seats like further apart, or not
Yeah,
necessarily.
and maybe protective gear. So we're already seeing that through the grocery stores. They have this plastic barrier now.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be our norm,
Okay.
but it's they won't take action. They won't do these preventative actions unless there's a mass outbreak or like something like that. So they might say, "Hey, we're opening up back at the athletic arenas,"
Yeah.
and they might make everyone go toe to toe, like you
Like
sit
how it
right
is.
next to each
Yeah.
other, and like normal. But then it's all about testing and stuff, and seeing. It's like they're gonna see, okay, how many people came in the doctor, what they said they went to the arena, how many people now are having symptoms.
Interesting.
Now, if there's quite a bit of people having symptoms, now we're going to take preventative cautions, meaning maybe 6 feet width, 6 feet length,
Yeah.
apart. So it all depends.
So
And this is
basically,
why
you don't want to be that first
we have
wave
to
that's
speak up
sitting back.
too.
Hold on. So basically, you don't want to be that first wave that's sitting down, toe to toe, and then they're seeing that. Oh my gosh! Everyone that came to this game, they have like crazy symptoms, or they have the virus.
In a sense, yes. In a sense, yes, for everything, really.
Yeah.
In a sense, yeah. You don't want to be. I'm sorry. I just keep using this as an example. I don't mean to offend, but it's like you don't want to be the first wave. When the outbreak in the 80s, AIDS,
Yeah.
shit, everyone was fucking dying.
Yeah.
But now, you could get it here, 2020, they got mad pills for you, or I don't know what they have. I'm sorry. That, in a sense like that, we're in the beginning stage right now. Try to be as preventative as possible.
Right.
Until you hear, in the media and whatever your research that, hey, they're having these type of things, they're having these preventative measures implemented. Implement it.
Do you see that though? Okay, so maybe in the beginning everything's going to be the same with the stadiums until they realize people are getting sick again. But do you see that changing how much emphasis we put on sports? Like, are they still going to be getting paid a lot of money? Is that still going to be a pastime? Or do you see that changing too? Not necessarily right away, but later on down the road.
Unconsciously, yes, I do see it changing. Unconsciously, yeah. Because guess what? Now I feel like in the future, I don't know when. I would have to really channel this, but the essential workers are going to want to get paid more, and that includes the mailman, and that includes the CNAs, and that includes the grocery clerks and employees. And people aren't trying to spend their money frivolously anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking, oh my God, what if another pandemic, or oh my God, I should save this for food or something like that. Unconsciously, yeah, it does shift. The longer it is here, the more conscious or unconsciously we're affected by this.
So do you see that the essential workers, like the lower essential workers right now, like the grocery store people, mailmen or whatever, do you see that that's going to change for them, where now it's almost like a prestigious job where you're going to be getting a lot more pay? Do you see that?
Yes it does, because the essential, like the grocery store employees and the mailman people, essentially they're going to protest and say, no, my life is more important than a goddamn minimum wage.
Yeah.
And people are going to say, yes, fuck us, honestly, sorry, excuse my language, but you can only say thank you so much. People need to see
the action.
You can't, don't give me words, give me actions. Okay, I'm literally risking my life. What are you gonna do for me? A fucking $7.25? No, I'm not risking my life. And that's why you're seeing a lot of people walking out, getting sick, or just don't give a fuck no more.
So you see the pay rising because of that?
They're gonna give incentives. Incentives meaning, hey, we're hiring, but we'll do 3 times, like, we'll give you double the pay. Okay. Incentives.
Got it. And what's some of the careers that you think would be important? Like maybe if you're not sure what you want to do in life, but you see this as something that's up and coming, like something that, like, what's some of the career choices that you think would be good? You know, like right now, basically what pays the most money is entertainment, if you're a singer, actor, but not that everyone is.
And look at it too, I think they're even feeling the dent, these entertainers. Money isn't coming in as much. Like, maybe that's why some of these celebrities are selling off purses and bags and stuff, or like trying to pump you out with a foundation. Not saying that a foundation is better or anything, but like trying to say, buy this here. I don't know what they're doing, but they're feeling the effects.
But what do you see as like the career that's like that you need to be in? Kind of stuff like maybe if you want to make money or something. I don't know. Just something that you see.
Okay, so I know this is going to be up and coming. It's going... I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's there yet. But right now, a job that won't ever go away is the medical field and anything that has to do with food, meaning...
But not necessarily, you know, because...
that type of thing.
Like, with all of this stuff that's happening...
Stores,
but listen,
where people need their food.
Here's with the medical stuff. With all of this stuff that's happening... But some of the medical stuff is going away, you know? They're not doing elective surgery anymore. I know a lot of people in the hospital... They're like, I know where the ER that Bob works at, it's less
not like
right now.
That.
People that does hello. So Crystal got disconnected because my phone needs to cool down. But basically, what I saw is that if you're like certain things in the medical field, maybe an eye doctor, you're not getting as much business anymore. So I know a lot of like people that work in the ICU, the doctors there, they're asking for other doctors to come and volunteer. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a job if you're a doctor. It just depends what kind of doctor you are and where the need is. Now.
And what I was saying is you have to look at the status, meaning obviously elective surgery, not a max amount of people getting it. Not like not like 99% of people are getting elective surgery. Yeah. That's like, no. 99% of people are what's it called? Going to a food source. And right now that is grocery store, so there you go. That's a given. At a grocery store, that's what the mass source is. That's where they're providing it. Now it could change into farming, and then you need to shift that. But and right now for doctors, mass people, like 99% of people is going to like ER.
Or the ICU, actually.
Or ICU type of thing, like those type of things. Not 99% of people aren't asking for breast augmentation nose job. No offense.
Yeah.
That's like that's a few percentage, just for the elite.
Oh, okay.
In a sense.
Got it. Yeah.
So you want to really sit down and brainstorm and see, hey, what is people wanting? Okay, right now, people are on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there's a lot of people on the online.
Yeah.
So you could go into something. I think entertainment will still be there. I don't know what type of entertainment, but a lot of people are using internet right now. So go into something like that.
Got it. That makes sense.
Right now, 99% of people do not want to be face to face. So that has to change.
Mm-hmm.
So don't look for a job where you're face to face knocking at doors. No one will answer that.
Yeah.
They want to feel secure and safe, so you're going to see different stuff pop up.
Do you see that? Are they going to pay the grocery store workers now a lot more? Not necessarily right at this moment, but in the next couple of years, is that now going to be a prestigious job to have?
Yes and no. There needs to be uproar. Mm-hmm. And remember, these are no offense, you guys, but who's like the grocery clerks and stuff, and the mailman, they weren't ever getting like a V-best pay, but like if we add like maybe like three double the pay or triple the pay.
Yeah.
Some people will be like, oh my God, yes, I'll do that. Because you have to remember, like, the mindset and mind state, like, they might not be used to triple the pay, so they'll jump on that, and some people will be okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, if you're used to a six-figure salary or maybe a two-figure salary, you know, it's like, no, I don't want to do no damn clerk work.
Okay, got it. So it's going to be the same difference, basically. Maybe a bit more pay, but it's not if you go to college type pay.
Yeah, in a sense. Okay. It's like, how do you value your worth? How much is your worth?
Okay.
That, in a sense. Some people say, okay, from $11, I want $40. Okay, that's how they value it. Whereas another person would say, I'm getting $11. No, I want freaking $800 more.
And if that's the case, listen.
It depends on what they value.
If they start paying like the grocery clerk $800 an hour, I wouldn't even go to college. That's just will be my job.
Exactly. Shoot, fuck the virus. I'll play that game. Like, you guys, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But I would go to that employee thing. Yeah.
So it wouldn't. I could see why it would never necessarily get that high, because then no one would want to be a doctor anymore. If you're going to be getting paid the same as a clerk that you don't have to go to school for, why would I want to be a doctor if I'm going to be getting more pay as a clerk?
Exactly, and then also too incentives. Like you know, there's a lot of unemployment right now.
Yeah,
they might even be looking at incentives where people don't want to go back to work, but they're going to say, okay, if you want this fucking unemployment check or not only the employment check, maybe a stimulus check, like, you know, every month, or I don't know what they do, every 3 months. If you want the stimulus check every 3 months, you have to have 20 hours of service
in person.
Maybe
okay.
Working in the grocery store, working in the hospital, something like that.
Oh wow,
they
that's
might
cool.
even do. So it varies.
Okay.
We don't know. We'll have to see.
That's cool.
What they do.
All right, and to get it back on point, because this was just a divergent, I was just curious.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where else did you want to go with this?
Yeah, I just want if any medical or anyone has any articles of the Bloodstream and stuff. What are they doing? Like, I just want people to do their research and stuff like that. I think the source is coming from the red blood cell or the bloodstream. The source is coming through the bloodstream, and I don't know with that information how we can fix it, or like how can we get symptom preventions, or how do we prevent symptoms. But that was it really.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.